receive what I told her, and maybe I put it out there a way that was too much and too blunt for her. We just like for a short period of time, I don't remember how long it was, but for a short period of time, we just didn't talk anymore. Like because we weren't on the same page, it just wasn't gonna happen. And I was okay with that personally because it was me standing up for myself.
To some, boundaries are just placing limits. To me, it's where the limitless things begin.
Hello, 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 and thank you for tuning into the Boundaries and More podcast with Jas Abraham. I am your host, Jas Abraham, and today's episode is brought to you by Joyful Styles. Joyful Styles is a lifestyle brand that provides premium quality apparel that promotes joy and positivity. Joyful Styles believe how we approach a situation matters, and choosing to be joyful makes all the difference. You have the power. It's time to embrace it. Again, that's Joyful Styles, JoyfulStylez.com. And for being a very special listener to this podcast, you head over to joyfulstyles.com, put in the discount code podcast, and get 20% off your first order just for you. All right, listen, man, I'm super excited to talk about this topic today. This may step on some toes, and that's okay. I'm okay with that. I hope you all are okay with that too, and just look at it as just something that helps you propel in your life, right? All right, so today is about boundaries with parents. Yep, I'm gonna let that sink in a little bit, get people mentally prepared for this. Yep, boundaries with parents. Oh man, yep. So important. So necessary. Oh wait, before I even get deep into this, I want to say this does not, most of this does not apply to those whose parents are still taking care of them, meaning they may still live with your parents or they're paying your bills, etc., etc. Not most of this is not for you, okay? This is for us who've moved out, who've established some type of lifestyle without our parents, without being inside of our parents' home, and the walls of their roofs, etc. All right, that just want to start by saying that very important to put out there. Okay, so one of the things that this is something I wanted to discuss, but one of the things that brought it to brought it for me to discuss earlier is I was recently watching this show, and on this show, this young lady, she's about 20 years old or so. She had already moved out her dad's place, and she was dating this guy. Her dad didn't like this guy really. Like he just think, how parents do sometimes. They don't think, oh, he not good enough for my baby. She not good enough for my baby. That type of stuff. He was on that type of stuff. And he just really wasn't feeling the guy. But the girl moved out and co-leased an apartment with her boyfriend that the guy just wasn't a fan of. Well, that the dad just wasn't a fan of, excuse me. So, she invited dad over. He came over to their place, and he just was having this type of attitude and just making it to be an uncomfortable situation. Wearing his non-approval all over his face, all over his actions and everything, right? So when that happened, the young lady, okay, once the dinner was over, because that's what they did, they had dinner at her place. Once the dinner was over, she talked to her dad about how she didn't like how he acted and all of that. So just putting it out there, and dad just swears he just was just right, and it matters what he says and stuff, right? Okay, I get it, right? Parents are typically the ones who probably like love us first, who care about us like no other because we're their babies and all that. And that's great until when we get in our 20s and 30s and 40s, and parents still try to see you as this little 12-year-old that you're not anymore, when they feel that they could have all the say they want in your lives, They could just, they're entitled to make your life decisions, right? If you're anything like me, a very direct and blunt type person and personality, personally, that just wasn't gonna fly with me. All right. Again, it's all about, I honored thy mother and thy father. I I get it. I'm all for it. I definitely respect my parents. I also stand up for myself when it comes to my parents, though. It's important. And again, we'll discuss why during this, right? So again, letting them know you're not that 12-year-old. They're not the ones paying your bills, so they shouldn't be able to, make all these decisions in your life. And one thing I know is that when you don't stand up for yourself, this is beyond parents, but again, I'm gonna just focus it to parents. When you don't stand up for yourself, they feel, again, entitled, that they can tell you, and they feel like, okay, you will listen to them because this is what they're saying. They're your parents, and they, brought you into this world, and blah blah, all this crazy stuff that they may say. I know some of you get me, you heard it. I ain't gonna finish the rest of that sentence. If you know, you know. So again, this makes me think about a situation, I guess maybe multiple situations, distinctive situations, when it came to me and my parents, but more so my mom. All right, mom, I love you, you're my baby. I appreciate you and everything you've done in my life. But this is my truth, right? Right. This is my truth, and this is what it is. So I remember when I was in college, and I was making life decisions. Great for me, not nothing crazy. I was making life decisions about who I wanted to date it in college, and my mom just wasn't a fan. She wasn't on board. She didn't understand, and like just making it all about her in a sense. Like, this is my lifestyle. I can date who I want to date, whatever that looks like, whomever that looks like. And I had to let that be known at that point in time. When I was in college, though, the way that when I told mom, look, this is my life and I'm gonna live it the way I decide to. Like, she just wasn't feeling that then. Like, here I am. I was a 17, 18-year-old. I'm pretty sure it's my freshman year in college. But either way, and what happened is that because she didn't receive what I told her, and maybe I put it out there a way that was too much and too blunt for her. We just, like, for a short period of time, I don't remember how long it was, but for a short period of time, we just didn't talk anymore. Like, because we weren't on the same page. It just wasn't going to happen. And I was okay with that personally, because it was me standing up for myself and me protecting my peace. I'm the same me regardless of who I'm dating, who I'm not dating, whatever it is. So if you don't want to be a part of my life because of these situations and these choices, then that's on you. You're a loss, right? That's how I felt at the time. And looking back, I still feel the same way, right? It's no change. I feel like I made the right decision then in that time. Although the person that I was dating, it just did not work out at all, for different reasons. But either way, it was my decision. Also, again, vividly remember a time when I think I just started my military, like I would, no, not just started, but early on in my military career. Again, I must say this before I move to that situation and story. It's really, that one for me was really the super, super defining one. And I think, yeah, we'll get to that. So it didn't work out with that person. And I was like, you know what? I'm not even dating anymore. Like, so for years, I didn't even date. Well, I didn't date that young lady anymore. And, but for years, I just didn't date at all. And then when I did date again, I started dating the guys and things of that sort again. And so, but again, that stuff just didn't work out for whatever reasons. It was college and things of that sort, but didn't matter, right? The bottom line is that didn't work out, and I was like, you know what? That relationship was not the greatest. So I was like, you know what? I'm just over this stuff. So come later down the line. Again, I started, so at this time I had to be, so after I graduated, I had to be about 22, 20, probably 23, 24 at this point. It had to be. Either way, 23, 24, maybe even 25. Whatever. I'm in my early to mid 20s. And then someone came in my life that I found interesting and who wanted to date me. And I just gave it a chance and we started talking and things of that sort. Again, this is another young lady at the time. And my mom, like once I told her, well, I was hanging out, we were hanging out somewhere, and my mom called me and she's like, "Hey, what you up to?" "Oh yeah, I'm at the movie with so and so." "So and so, who's, dad?" Started asking me questions and, "Oh, what's this about?" And, "I thought you said you was like over this." And I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. Hold your horses, lady. Slow your roll. Right? In my mind, this is how I played it out. But I didn't necessarily say hold your horses, slow your roll. But what I did say was, "Hey, look, Mom, I understand that you're not with you necessarily on board with all my life decisions, and that's fine. But I will tell you that I'm not. I'm the one that's paying my bills. I'm the one that I'm not trying to tell you how to pay, how to live your life, because I'm not paying your bills. I'm doing my own thing, taking care of myself. It's not like I'm in need of you to do things for me, etc. So you don't have any say so here. And if you want to say so, then you can start paying these bills, etc. And then we can talk from there." I probably honestly in one of my phones, I legit could probably find the exact like we talked on the phone a little bit about it. We hung up the phone and I had to send more in the message when I got thoughts together. Like, this is what it is. I could probably find that message and read it. But anyway, at that point in time, my mom, okay, she thought it was rude of me to say that to her. And I did not. I feel that I was standing up for myself. And, but again, like I said, that was a defining moment in my life and in our relationship, because even though initially, because I was standing up for myself, she thought it was just like rude or not appropriate for me to say to her for whatever reason. I knew better. Better as in, I knew it was the right thing and I knew it was necessary. It needed to be done. So I told her that, okay, I get that, but this is what it is. I guess, how, I don't know how long it took for her to like digest these things, but again, when it comes to these relationships, it made our relationship better. I think from that moment forward, I don't, on her end, I don't know her side of the story, but again, this is my truth, and on my end, like days later, things just started to change. She started to be more, I guess, open and accepting of me and how I am. Like, I'm always the same person again since I was a young girl to the woman I am now. Of course, I've grown and gotten better and do things differently and a lot more mature in that way. But it's just like it was not a situation where it like ended our relationship. "Oh, I don't talk to my mom anymore." Even like now, we actually have really good relationship. Like, there's some things, of course, that she might not agree with or don't like that I do or say or how I respond to certain things. But again, the type of person I am, the type of personality I have, it's like, nope, I'm gonna stand up for me and for this person and that person and all the people, because it's important to me, like, that we amplify our voice, right? Like, people will talk you, people could, if you let them, talk you out of your dreams and goals because they don't think it's what you should be doing. Not cool. Not cool at all. And the type of person I am, I make sure I have a voice not only for myself, which is definitely number one person I'm speaking up for, and then but for other people as well. This can be part of what happens with the podcast, right? You might hear something and you didn't know how to go about a certain situation, but then you do. because of certain examples I use, or you know that you're not alone because of certain examples. And again, there will come more of that later. Again, I do want to mention, like, for some, I understand some of these things, especially when it comes to standing up to your parents and putting boundaries in place, or those who raise you in that aspect. It could be really, really challenging, maybe difficult, hard, even at some point in time. However, I want you to know that it is truly necessary, extremely necessary, because if you never have your own voice, people will continue to be that voice for you, right? And some of the things that they voicing is may not be what you want. I want for you to live the life that you truly desire, for you to do the things that you feel are best suited for you in your life, right? Like now, again, I hold true to myself and my truth and how I am, who I am, how I feel. It's done wonders in my life. And now, again, like I said, me and my mom relationship is better than it's ever been before. Married now to a woman, and my mom just loves her so much. Like, I feel like sometimes like she might love her a little more, because I don't know. Like, anyway, their relationship is a little different, but it's like great. They have a really great relationship, and it's just different now. But again, I believe wholeheartedly, if I didn't stand up for myself and stand up for my truth, then not in my mom, but even although my dad is a different type of personality, he probably would have felt like he had some more say so in my life too. But again, early on, I know once I've stood up for myself and make decisions and show my parents, like, hey, what you saying is cool enough for you, but it's not going to work for me, things changed. So we're gonna get out of here. But what I want is some practical tips for you, right? So if you're someone that just don't know how you can approach situations or conversations, I should say, with your parents about setting boundaries in place, then it can go a little something like this, depending on your personality, right? If you have I mean, again, and it depends on the situation with which you feel like you need boundaries in place for. But if it comes to a situation with this about a significant other or anything like that, you could tell your parents, hey, you know what, mom, dad, whomever, I respect you and I thank you for your input. However, I will do what I feel is best for my life, right? I'm X years old, if that matters, putting it in there. I'm X amount of years old, and I truly believe up until this point, I've made really great decisions. And you can see that, and you can trust that I will continue to do so. But what's not going to happen is you feeling like you have stake and stock into my life. You're not entitled to make my life decisions for me. If that's the case, then God wouldn't have brought me here as my own person to make those decisions. You could have just continued making those decisions as a person for yourself, right? So you can bring something like that up. Maybe that's too much for some. Maybe you get somebody that you're really close to, or someone that you might talk to, like a counselor, maybe family counselor or therapist or something like that, and you voice that to them, and they help you come up with a way that you can stand up for yourself and set boundaries with your parents. Again, it's important. I have so much examples and people that I know. Maybe I think I'll probably do a part two of this or something at a point in time, but this, like, I want to keep these episodes around the same mark. So right here, I will yeah, we're gonna stop this episode today right here, and again, tune in next week for more boundaries and more with Jess Abraham. Follow on Instagram at boundaries and more podcast. If you're watching this video, subscribe, like, all of that good stuff to get notifications when we release more episodes. Also, If this episode has helped you or blessed you in any way, or you want to go even deeper into talking about some of this stuff, let me know. Let me know by commenting, again, hitting me up on Instagram. Let me know at Boundaries and More Podcast. Just, yeah. Until next week, all right, you all go out and have an absolutely amazing day. And I look forward to going deeper with this. I think next week might be a part 2 for more examples and things of that sort. But we'll do that. I think, yeah, that might be good for next week. Anyway, see y'all soon.